Hello everybody, welcome back, and today I think we're going to have a little bit of fun. In fact, we're casting a Silver League or Silver to Bronze League replay, and it's in fact sent in by Alchemy, who is the Protoss. I forgot to introduce him, but in the top left we have Alchemy, who sent us this replay quite a few months ago, and I haven't got around to casting his replays yet. But he did say that these games were pretty cheesy, and of course they are Silver League, so I'm really excited to see what these two players are going to bring to the table, because you never know what's going to happen in Silver League. And indeed, Brandao is the Zerg. He's spawning in the bottom right, and indeed it looks like he's going for a very standard spawning pool, and of course he'll forget to get his gas because, well, he doesn't want to get his gas. And already we see Alchemy placing the pylon in a somewhat strange location if he's designed to a proxy gateway. Indeed, he should have put the pylon somewhere here or here in order to conceal it better, but here Brandao's going to see that just fine if he decides to actually send his overlord. And of course, overlords are not meant to be scouting the map when you're in Silver League. Instead, they're meant to be stay-at-home caregivers who literally overlook the building of the second hatchery. And indeed, this overlord is going to be sent to some random location just because Brandao wants to spam his APM. Let's have a look at the APM tabs. And we see Brandao rocking out at average APM of currently 34 APM, just blazing fast. That's what he's doing. And indeed, we do see double gateway coming out from Alchemy. I wonder what he's going to build with this. But for some reason he's already got a gateway in his main base. I'm really not sure what this is all about. And he's building a Cybernex core. And of course Brandao decides to send him some Zerglings, and of course Zealot is at home, fortunately, but this pylon is going to completely shut down this gateway. This pylon is barely in range of the gateway, and indeed we do see Brandao's overlord is actually going to spot the double proxy gateway. But back at home, the probes are being pulled in order to deal with 3 Zerglings. I'm just wondering, what is Alchemy going to follow this up with? I mean, looking at Brandao, he's built nothing but Zerglings. He hasn't even gotten gas. I mean, this is just wonderful, isn't it? It's called Brandao's strategy is called Zergling Rush with no Zergling speed into an expansion, just because he saw the pros expand. He decided to expand even though he's rushing with Zerglings. Indeed, the Zealots will manage to clean up all the Zerglings, and Alchemy is going to start pumping up more and more Zealots from his double proxy gateway. And indeed, Warpgate is actually not being researched, so there's no sign of that being started. And indeed, the Zealot does go down, and what exactly is Brandao going to follow this up with? He's got 0 gas income, he's got 14 workers, he's just pumping out more Zerglings, and he's building a spine crawler. Indeed, he's building another queen, but at this point, Alchemy just needs to get his Warpgate. He is chrono boosting his Warpgate out, which is good. But what exactly are these double proxy gateways going to do? He's just spawned a couple more Zealots, and indeed, Brandao he's just building Zergling. He doesn't care about workers. He only has 13 workers currently, and he's not going to be building anymore. But he is building a couple of drones, and of course he's not mining from that gas. He got a gas geyser because he saw the pros get a gas geyser. And the Zergling speed is not going to be researched at any point in this game, I feel like. Some more Zealots. A Stalker is actually coming out from Alchemy. Alchemy is actually going to expand. A clever strategy. And he's built the Twilight Council, but what is he going to research from the Twilight Council? He's going to research Charge. Indeed, Charge lots are probably going to be chase down these Zergling speedless Zerglings, which is quite ironic since Zerglings are meant to be the fast ones. And indeed, the Overlord is going to be taken down. Not that Brandao actually was looking at this Overlord in the first place. Indeed, look at Brandao's APM. It's just skyrocketing. He's now at 55 average APM, whereas Alchemy is at a much more respectable 76 APM. I'm not sure what he's doing with the APM. Is he just checking his proxy gateways and building a couple of probes at home? I'm not sure actually what he has in mind for his opponents, but the Zealots are just going to hang around it. And we do see the Overlords migrating. Just because the Overlords aren't really very useful in Silver League, and apparently he's rallying them to here. Great choice of rally, Brandao. Just wonderful. Look at this. Wonderful. These Overlords are going to spot any sort of Stalker Blink, you know. Stalker Blink all in. Not that Alchemy is actually doing that. Of course, we do see Brandao is going to just build a couple more Zerglings, and he still has 0 workers in his expansion. I don't think he's going to be whining from that anytime soon. Instead, he's just going to build a lot of Zerglings. A lot of Zerglings. You know, Brandao's favorite key is actually the Z key, and actually he's gotten Zergling speed. This is miraculous. This is just absolutely miraculous. I think that even God would agree. And indeed, an Evolution Chamber is coming down, but is he going to be getting the +1 attack for Zerglings, or is he going to completely forget about that? And is he just going to do a spine crawler push with the amount of defensive structures that he has currently? With Alchemy, he's not skimping on his army nor his economy. Indeed, Alchemy is doing the right thing. He's building up a couple more probes. He's gotten a Dark Shrine for the memes. He's going to go full dank meme mode on his opponent. And these Dark Templar are going to start working away at the opponent, at Brandao's hatchery, if there were actually some drones here, which they are not. And there's of course the random blind spore crawler. And because Brandao actually has no vision of what Alchemy is doing, this is definitely just a random defensive structure built there for absolutely no reason. And of course, the Evolution Chamber is there just for decoration, just because it looks nice. Fills up some of the empty space in the base around Brandao's main base. And indeed, Brandao, he's not a person that likes injecting, you know. Oh, he just injected. I'm so proud of Brandao. He actually just injected both of his hatcheries at the same time. Very well played for a Silver League player. Indeed, what else is he going to be building? He's actually going to be building a Nidus network. I'm really not sure what Alchemy's units are doing here. Sure, there's 2 Dark Templar, but Alchemy probably doesn't know that Brandao has a blind spore crawler. Nope, he only knows that Brandao has 2 spine crawlers, but not spore crawler. Indeed, Alchemy's army is going to be rushing forward with charge done already, I believe. Yes, charge is done, and actually +1 weapons for the Zealots and Stalkers have been completed, but the Zerglings are just going to surround the Zealots. That was quite a terrible engagement by Alchemy. Yikes. The Dark Templar were just chilling at home. Like, Dark Templar are too lazy to work. Spore Crawler actually does manage to detect like most of this area, so if he did send those Dark Templar in, he would have to be very careful about them. But Alchemy, so far, he's not doing anything. He's being cautious, he's making an Observer, he's making a Warp Prism, he's getting his upgrades, but he needs to constantly build more probes. And for a Silver League player, I must say that Brandao is not running out of money very soon, just because he's constantly making more Zerglings. And indeed, he's actually going to be building Swarm Hosts now. That is truly disgusting. I'm not sure what Swarm Hosts are actually going to achieve. And of course, we see the mass Overlords coming out, just because Brandao loves spamming that V button, and he's decided, you know what? I'm constantly getting supply block, even though I'm rallying my Overlords to places where Stalkers cannot get them. You know what? I think I'll make a couple more Overlords. I don't really care, you know. I just want more supply and not to worry about that. But again, these are 6 Overlords, and those could potentially have been a lot of Zerglings. And if Brandao had simply just attacked across the map, actually Alchemy has nothing at home, so there's that as well. Of course, we're going to be seeing another expansion coming up from Alchemy. Quite well played, but he needs to constantly be pumping out more probes. He's at a healthy worker count, but Brandao, he's doing the Swarm Host Nidus network strategy. I'm not sure where his Overlord is. In fact, he doesn't have a single overlord near Alchemy space, so I'm really confused as to why he's actually building a Nidus network. But then again, you never know. Maybe he's simply building this Nidus network just to mind trick Alchemy in case Alchemy sends a random Dark Templar to scout for this. But I doubt that. Indeed, Brandao, he's not a fan of building workers. As you can see, he's building 7 more swarm hosts, and Alchemy is actually going to get Dark Templar, Blink, and extended thermal lands. Not that he's built a single Colossi in this game. He's actually just built 1 Colossi. Good lord. And these proxy gateways are still not being cleaned up by Brandao, even though he has all the time in the world. Indeed, Brandao already has an observer out, but he needs to be pumping out more drones. But instead he's going for more swarm hosts, and this Nidus network is still unused. Indeed, the first Nidus network is actually going to be spotted, or not spotted by Alchemy. Alchemy is actually not looking at this at the moment. He's looking at something else. Indeed, this Nidus network is going to get severe amount of damage done. Indeed, Alchemy actually has vision of the Nidus network, but the swarm hosts are going to spawn the locusts, and they're going to destroy and eat some of the probes, while the locusts are going to shoot their little toxic spit at the probes, and they're all going to go down very quickly. This swarm host Nidus is just absolutely disgusting. Indeed, it's actually going to shut down most of Alchemy's army, and I'm just really confused. Like, what is Alchemy doing? He's got an observer, hasn't he? I'm pretty sure he actually hasn't got an observer. So these swarm hosts are actually just going to continue spawning locusts until they die. Basically, they're stuck here now. That's for sure. They're stuck here. There's no point arguing about that. But these locusts are just keep spawning, and Alchemy is still not producing any observers. He's just producing a Colossi, and I'm a bit concerned for him. He hasn't done any sort of counter attack. No. Indeed. Man, these swarm hosts are just being annoying, and the shields on all the Colossi and this Archon are already gone. But Alchemy, you're just warping in more zealots, but my life for ire, they say, but they're just sacrificing themselves to Locust. But indeed, the first observer actually comes out, and Alchemy manages to clean up all of the swarm hosts. At this point, I feel like Brandao is in quite a nice position. He actually killed a lot of Alchemy's workers, but Alchemy already has another base going up and running, and Colossi actually do have extended thermal lands, so the range is going to be very beneficial in the long run. And Alchemy is going to warp in a lot more Stalkers, but I'm not sure what these Stalkers are meant to do. Are these Stalkers just meant to sacrifice themselves to this massive Zergling army? But it looks like Brandao spots the Stalkers. He's going to spawn Locusts to deal with them. But Alchemy, he's moving a small army forward. He's going to start sieging the Zerg's fortification here, and indeed Brandao is severely lacking in income department, and his army is incredibly small as well. So far, Alchemy has been macroing pretty well. He's been using good. He's been spending a lot of his resources, albeit he does have a little bit of gas in the bank, but that's not comparable to Brandao's. Of course, Brandao has 1.2k gas in the bank. Brandao is going to actually start a third base, but at this point, Alchemy's army is looking more and more terrifying. Indeed, Brandao's choice to spawn like 8 or 9 swarm hosts, that was the mistake in this game, and it's going to be very hard for Brandao to actually defeat this army using only Zerglings. And indeed, we're going to actually see Corruptors coming out, but I'm afraid that the Colossi's range and the damage are going to completely overrun Brandao's army. And indeed, Brandao taps out and Alchemy will take the victory. Well, that was definitely a very cheesy Silver League game. It started out with a double proxy gateway, which achieved absolutely nothing, into a Nidus swarm host attack by Brandao. But overall, that was very fun game to cast. I hope you people enjoyed it as well. So if you want to see more content or cast like this in the future, be sure to subscribe to my channel and keep up to date, of course. But for now, I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are, and see you guys next time. Goodbye.